check in, coaches would come back and forth, and it really wasn't very conducive to a game day recruiting setting for a kid that might visit your campus one time, two times, during a season. So now, as you guys came up the elevator, they all come in a private entrance that's just for recruits only. And they come up the elevator, then they go through all the check-in process. They get their tickets, their compliance paperwork, all those sort of things that they have to fill out in a normal unofficial visit. And then as you can see, when they come in the room, they get the option to pay for a meal. We charge them for a meal, and that's set up over here in the corner. And then they can sit and relax. Coaches, when the team gets here, we open this room 3 hours before the game starts, so they can come early, they can check in, they can sit here, then they walk down, they can see the catwalk, and then once the coaches get here, then the coaches come up to this space to visit with them. And we didn't really have that before we were in the indoor. It was hard for the coaches to get back and forth through the crowd, up in, back and forth with their team. Now they can get dressed, see their players when they come to the stadium, that kind of stuff, and then come back and forth. Once they come up here, we'll take you out on the patio, but it's basically up and down from the field. We've got access to come right up. Their seats are in the end zone. They can sit out on the patio. The only restrictions the NCAA has is once the game starts, they can't be on the patio or in the room. So that's an NCAA rule. At halftime, when the game's not being played, they can come up here. They can use the restroom. They can get a drink of water. They can, sit in here, watch some TV. We've got games going on all the different TVs, videos, PowerPoints, you name it. As you can see the technology in this room going on. They're in this space. There's Wi-Fi in here, the whole thing. Once the second half starts, we clear the patio, and they have to sit in their seats for the second half. Then after the game, they come back up in here, and when Coach Stoops brings the team in the end zone, the coaches come up. There's a back stairwell here that goes down to the lower level, and the coaches come up here after the game and visit with recruits. We used to have to stick them outside the tunnel by the old locker room stand by gate 1 there. It was all crowded, and just now there's a space where you can go off in a corner. A kid can talk to a coach, family can talk to a coach. We can take them back and forth from the first floor downstairs where Coach Stoops has got a room on game day to visit with the recruits. So it's much more conducive to having a setting where recruits feel comfortable, and it's impressive. And we've had nothing but rave reviews from the families that have been here for 2 or 3 years as to where their seats are now. Their seats used to be behind the visitor bench, and now they're in the end zone. It's a good view. It's by the tunnel where the team runs out. They feel a part of everything. So. Really from the graphics to, as you can see, Mr. Barnhart didn't cut any corners to this space. As far as the TVs in here, the LED walls, the 4-screen wall there to the hologram pictures over here. I mean, it's all done first class. And as you guys can see, if you look out the first window there, you can see our football complex is being built right over here. So now everything's going to be closed, because when we bring recruits in, you've got to handle them first class every time they come. You never know how many times they're going to come. You don't know if it's going to be one time or they're going to come 10 times. And so the one time you get them, you got to make sure everything you do is first class, and that they're comfortable and they have a good time, and that they're comfortable in the setting. And this works. We have our academic counselors come up here before the game. Coaches' families are up here, wives, kids. There's all kinds of people around them. So whenever they're here on a game day, it's a comfortable feeling.
Was there a must-have? Was there one single thing that you just absolutely were adamant about getting out here?
No, I mean the connection to the patio and the seats in the end zone. I think that was a big deal. Was the end zone seats, because wherever we go, opponent stadiums, the recruits are always like right by the field, right close. And I mean, we had times where our guys were right up almost under the top of the lower deck seating down here, and it was just not conducive to having you can't give them special seating, but we got to give them as good a seating as you can. And this now, where the patio and everything, I don't think anybody in the country's got this. And everybody has recruiting rooms maybe in the corners on the bottom, but now with the patio and the seats and everything, it makes it real easy for the kids to come in and out.
big a hindrance was the old setup on the track?
Oh, I don't think it was a hindrance. It just was hard to. It was just hard to function on game day, you know. And I know Coach Brooks wanted this for a long time, so he'd be happy if he came up here. Because I mean, the indoor is all we had. We could have put a tent outside, but it's still with this now in this space and availability of this space. This is going to be a great spot for a lot of things. We'll use it for recruiting dinners on Friday nights for official visits. We've never had any space in our stadium. We've never been able to have a dinner in our stadium anywhere. Now we can sit in here up on the mezzanine, look at the video screens, light up the stadium, have a dinner in here versus having to go to a restaurant all the time for different meals. So there's premium spaces in here that are going to be used for a lot of things.
You know the size and the two big TVs there?
Big? I don't know.